rebuilding. The catastrophic failure, a new start. Physically, mentally, our careers, our businesses. Step back, first step, next step. The driver in me just wants to get it done tomorrow. We'll do this, do that, let's move this, where are we at with this? You build some confidence, build some self-esteem, start to feel better about yourself. The Silverback Blueprint Podcast, a show for men over 40. We focus on getting stronger, staying motivated, building discipline, creating a community, and becoming truly happy. Hey guys, and welcome to the Silverback Blueprint, episode 158, Bigger Goals, Bigger Resistance. Here we are, guys, January 3rd, New Year 2019. 2/3 of you already blown your fucking New Year's resolutions. Maybe not that high. We talked before about that shitty stat. Within the first 10 days of January, people are off the rails on the drunken New Year's resolutions that they made. Not the way to do it for sure. But I thought it would be very appropriate today to talk about the bigger the goals you have, the bigger the resistance that you're going to run into. So ideally, if you've made some challenges to yourself, you've set some goals for 2019. You sat there and looked at how important they are, why they're important, created your why. The bigger the why, right, the more effective you're going to be in pursuing it. So if you sat down and you thought that through and you've decided what the challenges are that you want to face in 2019, what it is you want to improve, how you want to become the best version of yourself, the ultimate silverback, then a couple things you're going to have to get ready for. And quite simply, we've talked about the resistance before. And I'm actually doing a course right now as we speak. So we're actually into November right now. So I'm doing a business accelerator course with London Real Brian Rose. And it's all about this project here is how about to create an online product. So one of the things I want to do with the Silverback Blueprint is take it online so people all over the world can, benefit from the program training that we have for the Silverback Blueprint that we do at the gym. But now we're creating an online version so people can do it anywhere. Because part of my vision and part of my goal is to help 100,000 men become the best version of themselves in their 40s and 50s. So to do that, I need to work on a platform. And one of the things that gets spoken quite a bit about is the resistance, right? And we talked about that way back on on an episode where it's this source of energy that its whole purpose is seemingly to get in the way of everything you're trying to do. And it is a real thing. And it's really cool when I heard Brian talk about it from London Real. I'm like, yeah, it's true. I remember talking about that, right? I'm just as smart as Brian Rose. That's fantastic. But at the end of the day, like he says, the bigger the goal that you have, the bigger the achievement you're trying to acquire, the bigger the resistance. And Grant Cardone in 10X talks about that as well. He says, listen, whenever you're looking to make big changes and create something powerful, it's going to take 10 times the amount of work than you originally planned, and you're going to face 10 times more of the challenges than you expected. But he says that's the whole 10X principle. That's why you have to go at it 10 times harder than you thought you would have to, because you have to overcome the resistance. Sometimes the resistance will be subtle. Oh, what do you mean you got to go to the gym today? I thought we'd sit here and watch TV. That's a subtle one. To the point where fucking things have gone off the rails at work and you can't get into your workout and you have to postpone a session with your personal trainer or your group or your training partner. That's a bigger resistance. Or you're faced with travel, or you're getting sick, or all kinds of stuff happening, right? Those are different forms of resistance out there that you don't have control over, but yet you have to deal with. And that's why when you set a goal, the why has to be so powerful and so big that you're be like, fuck it, I can't go to the gym until 7, I'll go at 7 and I'll do my own workout. Or I'll get up early tomorrow morning and I'll go for a walk at 5 in the morning, or I'll get on the treadmill or the elliptical or the bike at 4:30 in the fucking morning. That's how you fight the resistance. You step, you dodge, you parry, but then you still keep moving forward. You don't quit. You don't acquiesce to it. You don't sit there and going, oh, well, there's nothing I can do about it today. Bullshit. There's 24 hours in this day, so stay up half an hour later and get on the fucking bike. Or swing that kettlebell 100 times. Or just hit the ground and do 50 push-ups, 50 squats, and 50 sit-ups. That's a fucking workout. And you can do that right there on the side of your bed in the bedroom or on the couch in front of the TV. You're already there anyway. But just don't get caught up in that bullshit where I don't have time. You have time. You're traveling, do it in the fucking hotel room. Just because you're traveling, keep eating salad with chicken. You can order it that way. You don't have to pound back a bunch of beers because it's a business meeting. All you're doing is succumbing to the resistance. Giving yourself an easy out. And you've got to stop fucking doing it. We all have to. We all get in those positions. You know, at Hostile, we're working on growing the brand, running the gym, our online, the podcast. Luke and I were just talking about, we work hard on this podcast. We get great feedback on the podcast, but we always want to try and keep growing our listenership. And that's a challenge. That's a resistance. I know we're doing good content because I hear from you guys talking about the content and how you like it and that kind of stuff. And I think that's fantastic. And that's our goal. That's our objective. But there's a part of us that sits there and goes, why don't we have 100,000 downloads yet? Right? And it gets frustrating. And that's the resistance that we could turn around and say, you know what? Oh, let's just stop doing it. Or let's just do it once a week or once a month. But we won't let that happen. We won't give in to that resistance because going through this is what's going to get us to 100,000 downloads. Because I want to help 100,000 men. And that's the goal I set for myself. Because if I can help 100,000 men become better, then I feel that I am truly living the purposeful life that I want to live. And I'm making a difference in the world. The world will for 100,000 men and the ripple effect of it, they will be better for me having been on this planet, for me having been in their corner to help them. And that's what I want. That's kind of legacy I would like to have. I want my life to matter. My life matters to my children, it matters to my wife, and I'm very happy about that. But I want to matter more. I want to make a difference. Because along the way, as I help these 100,000 men improve, I have to keep improving. So we talked about earlier, one of the reasons why I do the podcast is because it forces me to keep walking the walk. And I stumble a lot like everybody else, but I have to keep fucking going. Because we have people listening and waiting for the next episode. We have people contacting us and thanking us for what we're doing, telling us that we're helping them. We're inspiring them. I had a guy the other day in the gym walk by me real quick. I fucking talked to this guy once in the blue moon. He's a quiet guy. And he just stopped. And he goes, Kurt, I want to thank you. I find you super inspirational and motivational. And you're helping me. Out of the blue. So I know we're on the right track. And I know the resistance is out there to get us to 100,000. But I know when we get to 100,000 downloads and we're helping that many more people, our lives will be that much more fulfilled and enriched as well. So sometimes that's the only fucking thing I get to hang on to when the shit hits the fan and when all the forces seem against us and the resistance is kicking the shit out of us. This last week or so, I have a lot of things I'm dealing with, mostly positive, but there's some stuff I have to do. There's some resistance. I'm a business. So as a business, I have human resource issues. I have, business development issues. I have cash flow issues. Like any business out there, and a business that's growing. So I'm human like anybody else. Sometimes I'm like, holy fuck, I just want to crawl under the covers. But I have to remember that's the resistance that I'm paying for. That's the price I have to pay to get to the other side. Now, there's days where it does get to be a lot. That's when I step back a bit. Say, you know what? I'm going to take a little break today. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to do something to empower myself, something to give myself a break. Recharge a little bit. Think a little bit clearer. Step back from the chaos and then step back into it. Because the alternative is not succeeding. And to me, that's a non-negotiable. That will not happen. But when you do that, when you put yourself between a rock and a hard place, hey, I will succeed no matter what. Now I got to go through all the resistance to get to it. You're going to succeed. But you're going to get the shit kicked out of you. You're going to get pushed around. You're going to get taunted. You're going to get laughed at. You're going to be talked behind your back. And that fucking happens, and you better be ready for it, and you better be ready to deal with it, and you better suck it up and bite your bottom lip and just keep fucking going through it. And if you need to take off for a day or two to recharge, to fucking cry, to write things down, to punch holes in the fucking wall, that's what you do. Don't let them see you do it, though. Don't ever let them see you do it. And then you get that shit out of your system. You take a deep breath. You wipe the fucking snot from your nose. And then you get back in there. That's the only way, guys. That's the only way you're going to be able to get up every morning and start exercising. That's the only way you're going to be able to sit there and resist the urge to eat the wrong fucking breakfast because you're tired, because you didn't meal plan. Right? When you succumb to those things, right? It's because you're in a position of weakness. You didn't fortify your position strong enough. There isn't a bunch of meals prepped in the fridge. You didn't have the right breakfast to start the day off so you don't crave things all day long. I'm not making this shit up, guys, because it's the same for all of us. The mornings where I hit my right breakfast, my day is in tune. The mornings where, my food prep is off or I haven't had the right thing for breakfast, I'm fucked. Halloween just passed, and there's been a couple of nights where I'm like, hey, there's a bowl of fucking chocolates up there. And you know what? I've plundered into them. But if I look back why, my meal prep was off that day. It's that simple. Because on the days, in the same week, the days where I got up and I had my shake in the morning and then I had my next meal, I find the first 2 meals super important. I have that shake in the morning. I have that next meal 2 or 3 hours later. If I hit those, man, I am fine. You could sit there and lay all these chocolates onto a fucking naked virgin and I wouldn't even fucking bat an eye. Not even for a second. But I missed those 2 meals. You could tie that fucking piece of chocolate to a fucking 90-year-old ragged dog with fucking fleas. I would eat that fucking chocolate. Right? I'm the same guy, but I'm just putting myself into 2 different scenarios. Because one, I was prepared. One, I wasn't. And we've all fucking been there, guys. We've all been there. So the key is fortify your position. Make yourself stronger. Do the things that need to get done. Follow the steps. Journal. Exercise. 2 things. 2 things that if you sit there and did that for a week straight, your world would be different the second week. I shit you not. But you got to get it done. You got to do it. And fuck all the excuses about time. Fuck all the excuses about you got too much going on. Because to the same thing too, guys, we've all been in that position. We've driven for 5 hours to get fucking laid and driven 5 hours back to go back to work the next day. And we were happy to do it. In fact, I know guys, we've fucking driven for 8 hours to get turned down and drive back for 8 hours and get back to work. So don't tell me you don't have 30 minutes to fucking ride the bike. Don't tell me you can't figure out a way to get food prep done. Hire somebody. Right? I pay my daughter. Right? She has school. She has competitive hockey. She's 15. She can't quite get a part-time job because her schedule's all over the place. So I pay her X amount of dollars per week, and she does food prep for me. Right? So there you go. She gets to make some money, and my food's ready. Now, some weekends she gets behind because of all the hockey and stuff like that, and then Monday comes along and the food prep's not there. You know what? It makes my Monday a little tougher. But all I have to do when I see that happen is get off my ass and say, you know what? I'll make these next 3-4 meals. But I too get caught up with the excuse. Oh, we're all busy. Oh, we got this going on. Hey, there's a bowl of chocolate over there. So at the end of the day, guys, we need to have bigger goals. We need to have a purpose for our life. We need to sit down and figure out what it is we want to do to create that life we want to have. And those are great goals, and they need to be powerful. They need to be awe-inspiring. They need to motivate you. But at the same token, guys, be ready, because right behind it is a shitstorm of resistance. Some of it out in the world, some of it internal, that can't wait to fucking derail you. So do what you need to do to prepare against that. Make sure you're rested. Make sure you're better fed. Make sure you're taking care of yourself and being consistent and putting yourself ahead of everything first. Because if you're not the healthiest you can be, the strongest you can be, the fittest you can be mentally and physically, you are a burden to everyone around you. You are not contributing. You are not helping. You are taking. And we don't want to do that. Hopefully. Guys, that's all I have to say on that for now. Head on over to iTunes. Leave us a 5-star rating, a positive review. Head on over to hostilegear.com. Use the code word Silverback to get 20% off resistance-busting merchandise. And as always, guys, work hard, motherfuckers. And I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, Kurt Haas here from the Silverback Blueprint. Listen, if you guys are looking to get a jump start on some change and really get things going, but you're feeling stuck and you just need that little push, I want you guys to head over to silverbackblueprint.com. I've got a cool 3-video series that we just put up there, and it's geared to help you within the next 7 days lose 10 pounds, sleep better, and think clearer. Just the right thing to give you that right catalyst to get started. So head on over to silverbackblueprint.com. Sign up for there. You're going to get 3 cool videos covering 3 topics that if you follow are going to make a big difference. Work hard, motherfuckers, and I'll talk to you guys later.